Okay, this week's lesson is about tessellations. Tessellations are patterns of shapes that fit perfectly together. For instance, take a look at my example here of some fish, and each fish shape is exactly the same. And you'll notice that they fit perfectly inside one another. And this tessellation is actually really easy to make. An artist that really made tessellations famous was M.C. Escher. So if you get a chance to check him out, you should. Anyway, so I would like to show you how to make this. So today what you're going to need is you can use a Post-it. Post-its are about 3 inches long, okay, and they're square. You can also use an index card. The nice thing about the index card is that it's heavier paper, which will be easier to work with. So you can use any type of square paper, but you want to measure it out and make sure that it's square, first of all, and that we're aiming for 3 by 3. So here I'm going to take my index card, I'm going to measure 3 inches by 3 inches. Connect those lines together. And you're also going to need some scissors to cut out our tessellation as well. So now I have my square ready to go. You can see that it's about the same size as a Post-it. So any paper will be able to work, but heavier paper is better. Okay, so the next thing you're going to need is a pencil, and you're also going to need some tape. If you don't have tape, you could use a sticker or stickers to tape on your edges, but you are going to need some sort of adhesive. To make a tessellation, you are going to take your square and you are going to draw a line from the right-hand corner top to the right-hand corner bottom. And this can be complicated or it can be easy. So here I just did like a wavy line. Make sure you start in the corner and end in the corner. And then the next thing you're going to do is on the top left to the top right, you are also going to draw a line. Okay? Then you're going to cut them out. Okay. So now you can see my pieces that I've cut out. Now there's 2 different ways that you can go about creating a tessellation. The first type takes the shape that you just cut out and slides it over to the other side, and takes the top and slides it down to the bottom. You can also do it a little differently, where you take the sides and swing it down to the bottom, and the top and swing it down to the side. They both look very similar, so I am going to do what I think is easiest, which is take this piece, slide it over, and tape it. Make sure you line your corners up, that's really important. Okay, and then I'm going to take this top piece that I just cut out, and I'm going to slide it down to the bottom. Make sure you line up, that's really important. Line up the corners. Okay. Alright, so there's my tessellation. And the next part is trace. This becomes our tracer, and now we're going to repeat it, tracing it over and over. So how you're going to do that is take a sheet of paper, and you're going to put your tessellation in the center, however you want it to look. And then you can trace it. I like to trace it with a pencil first. Continue your design going off the paper. Okay, there you can see that I've filled my paper with the design. Now you have to decide what you want your tessellation to look like. And this is really where you kind of have to like look at it and get creative with it. You know, this could be a, you know, shark. It could be a person with wings. But that's going to be a little challenge for you, is deciding what you want to turn your tessellation into. So for instance, here you can see the shape I turned into a fish. And it looks very similar to the one I just made, actually. This one right here is a pretty interesting shape. And I came up with a couple ideas for this one. The first one was this weird looking person riding a chicken. And here you can see the shape. All right. And then for this one, I turned it into a rocket ship. Obviously a very weird looking rocket ship. None of the pictures are going to be absolutely perfect, but that's kind of the fun in this, is it kind of forces you to think outside the box. So once you have your tessellation drawn out, you know, now you can go through and start turning it into whatever you decided you want it to look like. So if I want to turn this into a fish, I can do that. I mean, it's definitely a weird looking fish, but it works. So then I would do that for all of my tessellations and outline it with Sharpie and color it in. If you have colored pencils, that works. Marker works. Whatever you have at home. Okay, good luck.